Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining me. My name is Paula, also known as the Snail Garden on social media, and I have an Etsy shop, Eva Faith, where I sell hand-dyed linen for cross-stitching. What are you doing? I will put all the links in the description box below where you can find me. And for those of you who don't follow me on Instagram, this is Loki, one of our 2 5.5-month-old kittens. He was fast asleep until I started recording, and then he wanted to come up on my lap. But you can't stay here. This is my January vlog. Hopefully, we'll see how this goes. Is it too late to say Happy New Year? I hope that 2026 is treating you well so far. I will put in a short vlog and then I will come back and share what I have been up to. Kittens willing. Because you're into everything, aren't you? Eh? Welcome back. I have decided to only share the projects that I have worked on in January, and I will start with Special Delivery by Sally of the Humble Bumble Stitcher. Sally very kindly used my linen for this design, which is 36 count oil rag. And it's a Huswif or Huswif needlework roll. And I've used all the called for colours except for the white for the snowman. I usually whiten up my snowmen. And this is stitched 1/2. The light is not very good today, I'm afraid. And I am now in the process of cutting out and preparing the English paper piecing hexagons for the reverse. That is when the kittens do not run off with them, which they frequently do. My second project is the Whitchurch Silk Mill Sampler, which is a project bag by Becky of Willow and Hare Stitching. And this is being stitched on Blackberry Primitives linen. And this is how far I have got so far. I still have a few pieces to put on here and some more embroidery and some English paper piecing. And then I have the reverse of the project bag. All of these fabrics, apart from the grass, were supplied by Becky as part of the kit at the Whitchurch Silk Mill Retreat. I didn't put my mill quite in the right place, so I have been playing with where I put the other parts of it. As you can see, I have some acorns to put here. I still have to finish the daisies. My slightly wonky, very wonky needle turning. Something I enjoy, but I need a bit more practice, I think. My next project is some Christmas stitching in this nutcracker bag I made the previous year. And this is Winterberries and Pine by Brenda Gervais. I was lucky enough to be able to get the kit. I've already stitched it once for a friend, and I am now, this is a bit creased, now stitching it again for myself. This is 36 count mushroom by Zweigart, and it's being stitched 1/2. It's mostly DMC with a couple of over-dyed threads. And I now have another little visitor beside me who may well jump up at any moment. Maybe you'd like to come up and say hello first, would you? I'm coming up. Get your claws out, look. This is Luna, Loki's sister, who was just sleeping in the sunshine until a few moments ago. This one is a little terror as far as needlework is concerned. Those razor sharp teeth bite through floss. We've had a tug of war with yarn. And little claws go through linen, don't they? I know. But she's adorable. Aren't you? You're a good girl. I know. Oops. Right, get your claws out of my... It's a good girl. Right, hopefully she will stay down now. Right, my next project is one I've had for a while, but I saw that Sean of the Periwinkle Stitcher was stitching it at the moment, and she told me about the Shawl that is going on the Across the Pond Facebook group. Now this is Bees and Birds Sewing Roll, Biscornu and Scissor Fob, and I've had this for quite a while. So why I have never started it, I do not know. So thank you, Sean, for alerting me to the Shawl, because now I can get going with it. And this is 36 count linen beige, and that is the wrong side. Sorry, not very organised today. Thought Kitten's asleep, I'll try and record. Right, this is 36 count beige by Wix Dye Works, and I'm stitching it in all the called for colours 1/2, which all came with the kit. Oops. If I can organise them slightly. And these are all Wix Dye Works threads. And that is being kept safe in another project bag that I have made. I have yet to put something on the zip. That just leaves one more project that I can share, because I am doing some secret stitching. And this is the 24 Birds Shawl by Helen Stewart of Curious Handmade. And this was a mystery knit along a couple of years ago, but I stopped knitting it because I was going to cowslip workshops and I wanted to get things ready for the retreat there. Now I have knit this just in 3 different colours. It is charted for 4. And this is Half Blood Prince by a Homespun House. Believe this is, oh my goodness, nope, not that one, just looking for the label. No, I do not have the labels. Okay, I know this is snail yarn. I believe this is Aurora Borealis. I will put it up here if I am wrong. And this is Life in the Long Grass, and I believe it's Artifact. I do have a 4th colour, but I have decided that I like it with just 3 yarns. Now this is going to be very difficult to share because there are 576 stitches on this, and it is a circular shawl or a pie shawl. And I'm knitting this on my Jahzzar I can see the 3.75mm circular needles. And it's going to be very difficult to share because of the size and the circular needles. But you start in the centre and gradually work your way out. And I'm at about 80 to 85% at the moment complete. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say I will have this finished and blocked, ready to share at the end of February. Hold me to that, please, because during February, Helen is bringing out a new shawl, a mystery knit along, and I have done all of her mystery knit alongs so far. So I'm planning on taking part in that too, though I have not yet chosen my yarn. Now I'm trying to knit from stash because I have a lot of hand dyed yarn and I'm running out of space to keep it. So this will be finished by the end of the month. I'm sorry if that was a slightly chaotic sharing. I'm a little out of practice. And I do have my little helpers, one who is watching the wool very closely. I can see you. Hello, this is future editing me. I realised when I was editing that I have forgotten to share 2 projects. So I thought I'd quickly just pop in a section here. I clearly have kitten brain at the moment. My first project is some socks, and these are a new design by Danielle George, Danny of Little Bobbins Knits. And these are a pair of holly socks. And I am knitting them in Ains and Prynne in the colour Charleston. And the holly and cuff are in these 2 sparkly colours from Dandelion and Dogwood, and they were part of their vintage bottle brush tree range. And as you can see, I have knit the cuff and the holly, which will be stitched down, and it has a rolled hem, and then I'm carrying down the leg. These are shorty socks. This was a Christmas Eve cast on, and for once I was able to do Christmas Eve. So, as you can see, there are 4 of them on each sock. My second project that I forgot to share is in this little bag I made a while back. And this is my meditation book from Nicki Franklin. And I have finished stitching my moon and my hair and have attached them to the front cover. The moon is a very long stem stitch, and I was just using up threads in this sort of colour that I'd had lying around for a long while. And there's no particular design to it. I just stitched and stitched as freely as possible. The hair, I had started on a very loosely woven piece of linen because I was going to just put it on as a patch, but then I decided to cut it out and applique it. So it's trying to fray a little bit in places and possibly needs a little bit more stitching down. But this was a lino cut I had made in the past, and then I have coloured and embellished it. I plan to have some seed heads stitched here at a later date. I have previously shown these little motifs that I started with, but they have yet to be put into the book. These fabrics are some botanically dyed ones I made a while back. I have a couple more motifs. And this is the other piece that I have stitched. I haven't fixed my pages in yet so that I can lift them out and stitch on them. And this is a little bit abstract. Again, just putting the stitches where they wanted to fall. These are offcuts from botanically dyed cotton. And I was inspired by our trip to the beach with the sea defences falling down. And I've left all the strands loose at the bottom. Sorry, wobbling the camera. Now I asked my husband what he thought this was. He said, "Is it a foot?" And then he said, "Are those tacking stitches?" I then decided to give up. Like I said, it is abstract. I've got quite a few other pages in here to fill yet, and some little stamps I've done. This is all different vintage fabrics that I've collected over the years. And the other side of the botanically dyed and printed. Hopefully I will be a little bit more organised in my next vlog. When you haven't recorded to camera for a while, it's hard to get back into the swing of it. Thank you for joining me for this slightly chaotic vlog. I am woefully out of practice. Yes, you too. Don't know if you can hear her, she just meowed at me. I will be back at the end of February, and hopefully I will be a little bit better organised. Until then, goodbye.